Accusation is Illinois Congressman and Chief Deputy Whip Peter Roskam. Congressman, nice to meet you.
Hey, glad to be here. Appreciate
you coming in. How do you reconcile what Nancy Pelosi is saying with the fact that, let's just say, for example, Florida wants to purge the voting rolls of people who shouldn't be voting? They're dead, they're illegal, whatever it is. And Eric Holder, the Justice Department, says not so fast.
Well, I think the important thing is to look at the timing of most of these things. This is an investigation that predated House Republicans, and now House Republicans are coming in and really want to actually focus in on jobs and the economy and health care. But as the Speaker has said, we've sworn an oath to uphold the Constitution, and if that requires us to keep a co-equal branch of government accountable, we will do so. So I think that, former Speaker Pelosi is sort of, she just doesn't disappoint. You know what I'm saying? She's sort of making this up. I think it's a line of scrimmage audible that they're calling, and it's not well-founded. The easiest remedy of all of this is for the Justice Department to be forthcoming with the documents, for President Obama to recede from his executive privilege claim, and let's see what the documents...
What do you think they have that they don't want to turn over?
I think they've got a major problem now, because what they're doing is invoking a Nixonian privilege, essentially. To assert executive privilege is now to insert the President of the United States and his senior staff into this whole misadventure that cost the life of a Border Patrol agent very, very significantly. And up until now, they've said, look, we've had nothing to do with this. This has strictly been a Department of Justice operation.
Sounds like you're in favor of full and free disclosure. You should have access to whatever you need to get to the bottom of it. Health care and the ruling that is coming. Congress will have to react one way or another. First, what do you think will happen? And second, let's say it's struck down. What about all the money that's been spent so far, taxpayer money, on the regulations that are part of the overhaul President Obama ordered?
Well, I was able to go to one of the health care debates, or one of the Supreme Court
debates.
Yeah, the arguments, and it was fascinating. Now, I was there on the debate surrounding severability, that is, the premise that part of it is unconstitutional. But coming away from that, I think that the court is going to strike down part, if not all. Then the question becomes, so how do you unwind all of this? To your point, what happens to the money that's been appropriated and spent? How do you reclaim things? And I would argue that this doesn't help President Obama as he's moving into a re-election effort this fall. If it's upheld in its entirety, it's wildly unpopular. Women are not pleased with the act. And
it's expensive.
It's expensive. 85%, women make 85% of the health care decisions. It's a key demographic that President Obama needs in his re-election. The Democratic Party lost the women's vote in 2010. They are desperate to get it back, but this is not a pathway for them to do that.
If it's struck down any part of it and it comes back to Congress, do you think it will be a distraction from you to deal with the economy separate and apart from business owners not knowing what they need at this point, and also the cost of the overhaul?
Well, I think that right now the looming nature of the health care law is part of the impediment to job creation. So if you're an employer in suburban New Jersey and you're saying, well, I don't know if I'm going to bring somebody else on because of the cost of this health care law and the mandate upon me, at least there's a little bit of clarity to move forward. What the House will then do is evaluate that, but we're not going to go into the same trap of jamming through a big proposal that is not well thought out. So this is a process by which you open things up, and I would argue focus in on two things: driving costs down and dealing with pre-existing conditions, and I think that we can do that.
And we're going to check back with you after the vote to see how it goes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jamie.
Bill, back to you.
19 minutes past the hour now.